shouldn't we talk about Robot Laserbeam a little bit? You know, the last jumpstart out of the 6 that we've been getting recently?
Yes, Robot Laserbeam, by the creator of Kuroko's Basketball, Fujimaki-sensei. Forget his first name. But it's basically a golfing manga with a very unusual protagonist who has no interest in golf whatsoever and is this very kind of strange, asocial character who is very matter-of-fact about his opinions and very straightforward and is very blunt about the fact he doesn't see why sports are fun and why hitting a ball with a stick and seeing how far it goes is fun at all. But he's naturally talented at it because, whether he realizes or not, he has been kind of practicing golf pretty much all his life just by going out with his dad and, hitting balls into this basket thing while killing time. So he's been honing skills for pretty much, considerable portion of his life. So, randomly, when some bullies are, taunting a friend of his, he sticks up for his friend, and he manages to show them up in a contest to see who can hit a ball farther. And, he keeps going because he has this very obsessive personality until he gets a hole-in-one. And it's really impressive to everyone. And so now, the captain of the golf club at his school wants to recruit him, but, he's still not interested in it. And also, he's attracted attention of this ace golf high school player who thinks that Robo is the guy that he heard hit, an amazing shot earlier. Even though time frame wise, it's probably wasn't Robo he heard. But still, he thinks it's Robo because he hears a similar shot when Robo goes back to practice with his friend, the next day or whatever. So now a new rivalry starts to form up. And this rival guy is basically Aomine from Kuroko's Basketball. He looks exactly like him. He's not as, mean-spirited in terms of personality. But, he's kind of has the same similar personality. He's pretty aggressive. But anyway, I was looking forward to Robot Laserbeam ever since Fujimaki-sensei mentioned that he was going to do a golfing manga after Kuroko. And I was like, yeah, I have been conditioned to like golf for most of my life. I can get behind a golfing manga. That sounds great. And so far, Robot Laserbeam has had a pretty typical start for a sports series. It stands out because Robokun is a very unique protagonist. He's not like the usual go-getter, I'm super into this, I really want to succeed, like other modern sports manga protagonists are. And he's not a completely aloof, he's not good at it kind of character either. Other characters, the main character of Baby Steps or whatever, who aren't good at first but then get good. He's good right now, but he doesn't have any motivation. So that's what sets him apart from other sports manga protagonists right now. So I can get behind the series. It's probably, I like the main character. I like golf. At least I think I like golf based on how much I've had to play it over the years. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. A lot of people are very excited for it, especially Marlene, who's the editor of it. So she'll probably try and push for it to get added into the English Jump. So I'd expect to see it going forward, especially since Kuroko is a very popular and fairly successful series over here to begin with. So I'm very excited to see where this goes and how it'll turn out. So good stuff.
Yeah, I don't have much else to add to that other than I can't say I've never read Kuroko. I've read about maybe a volume's worth of Kuroko, and I was kind of bored, honestly. But I mean, to be fair, I think I'd probably like it better watching it, honestly, through Crunchyroll or whatnot. But yeah, I read this, and I thought it was alright. Like Sid said, it's a bit of a typical start, so, there's not much I can add to it other than I like the idea of the protagonist of a sports series, being good at the sport, but not having the motivation to start off with. So I'd like to see a character arc maybe come out of that, because I feel like Slam Dunk kind of did a similar thing where Sakuragi, he had the potential to, be good at basketball, but he literally only wanted to play basketball to hopefully date a girl that he likes, and didn't realize until like near the very end that, oh wait, I like this sport, which I thought was a really good moment for that series. So I'm hoping something interesting and inspiring sort of comes out of that. I could see that maybe, but otherwise, yeah, I thought it was interesting, and I wouldn't mind reading it weekly, honestly.
Yeah. Well, Sakuragi had motivation just in the fact he wanted to, go out with a girl and impress her. So that pushed him to get better and better. So the interesting thing right now with Robo is that he just doesn't have any motivation at all to even play the sport. So that's what I'm interested in seeing, like, what gets Robo to want to play the sport and what ends up motivating him to actually want to succeed and actually want to be the best and actually compete. So I think that's a very interesting aspect of sports manga to tackle with a very unique and atypical protagonist.
I really wonder what the situation with the jump starts is gonna look like by the time we record our next episode, because I have to imagine that they're probably gonna be picking a few of them pretty soon to add to the magazine.
Yes, I'm assuming that after Robot Laserbeam finishes its Jumpstart run, they'll start announcing what they have picked up. Probably not immediately, but I think by the beginning of May, we'll probably see this some of the things they picked up start trickling in.
Yeah, hopefully. But as soon as we get some updates on that, we'll be sure to let you guys know. And I'm sure we'll probably discuss that when the time comes. I'm sure, depending on the selection, me and Sid will probably have some thoughts on that. I can see maybe, like, I don't know, maybe Viz picks something that I wish could have stayed in, and I'll probably be angry about it. I don't know. You never know what'll happen. We'll just have to see. It's an interesting time for the Viz Jump.